Good morning, Boker Tov. We continue with our 3-minute daily dose of Torah. And this week, leading up to Shavuot, we are studying chapter 19 of Shmot. And today, looking at verse 3, Pasuk Gimel, as Moshe now prepares for the conversation with God on the terms of revelation. Moshe Allah el ha-Elohim, and Moshe went up to God. Vayikra elav Adonai min hahar lemor, and God called out to him from the mountain saying, Ko tomar leVeit Yaakov, v'taged livnei Yisrael. So shall you say to the house of Jacob, and instruct the children of Israel. What's unusual in this verse? Nothing really crazy in the verse that should capture our attention, other than we know how we're generally referred to in the Torah. We're referred to as the Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel. That's the term, verse by verse and pasuk by pasuk and chapter by chapter. We're the Bnei Yisrael. And here, God also uses another poetic reference to us as Beis Yaakov. That could be all that it is. It's just a nice poetry. We're going to expand it out a little bit and think in sweet ways and different ways to describe us, the house of Jacob and the children of Israel. But Rashi quotes the Midrashic teaching, which sees another layer here. He says, "Levet Yaakov elu hanashim," and Bnei Yisrael were the men. Beit Yaakov meant the women of Israel, and Bnei Yisrael meant the men. As Rashi takes it, ultimately God says, "I need you to be able to convey the message differently." Tomar lahen b'lashon rakah, for the women you should tell them in a gentle language. For the men, onshin v'diktukin. And he should be doing the for the men. You have to talk about the punishments and the details and the things that are really, really hard for people to do. That doesn't mean, I don't think that means that you just do light stuff with women, and the men you do complicated stuff. I think it actually means the men are going to ultimately need to be taught rules and regulations and worry about penalties, whereas the women are not going to be motivated by that and be motivated by the higher, loftier things. I'm not interested right now in analyzing whether or not these are a good binary between men and women. I think ultimately these will also be the ways in which we distinguish between lots of different types of men and lots of different types of women. And Mars and Venus stuff is not my topic here per se. But my topic ultimately is that God wants to convey something very significant. That even though we do understand that men have different obligations, more obligations than women do in terms of time-bound commandments, for example, or in the obligation to teach and study Torah in a different way than women would be obligated, here that God is making very, very clear that when it comes to God revealing God's self to the people of Israel, God says this isn't just about a men's experience. This is everyone, the men and the women equally. No matter what our sociological distinctions, or even some of the halakhic distinctions between us, men receive the Torah and women receive the Torah equally. God reveals to men and women equally, and that's the value that we in our community have made sure to put forward. It drove and defined the Beis Yaakov movement, Beis Yaakov, from this verse, harken back to this verse, which sought to give serious Torah study opportunities to women, and it's an essential part of our shul and what we're about, where everyone experiences revelation and everyone experiences equally together all that it is to be a Jew. Let's retain our commitment to such values and live them each and every day. Have a great one.